Happy 2023! We are here to make some New Year's goals. Making goals for a new year can be a challenging balance. As we enter 2023, Bonnie and I are actually looking at making our goals more in line with who we are and where we're at right now with ourselves. Instead of creating long to-do lists and overextending ourselves, we're both looking to scale back and set some more reasonable to ourselves goals.
So now we're facing 2023, coming off of a year that looked nothing like I expected and where I did not accomplish all of my goals. So my goals for 2023 are a lot more nebulous than they even usually are. I feel like I've been living the last few years in a state of intensity, particularly mental intensity, of just a lot of work in therapy, a lot of just thinking through and processing a lot of things. It's just been a very intense few years. So my overarching goal for 2023 is to slow down, particularly to slow down internally and to take the time to take care of myself, my body, and my mind. So with all of that in mind, these are some of the things that I hope to accomplish this year, but I am holding them very loosely and willing to give myself grace if they end up not happening or if they kind of change shape along the way. I do plan to continue Duolingo for German. I do once again have a reading goal. At the time of filming, I'm debating whether I want to keep it at 90 books or bump it up to 100 books. And I think that my Dickens book is going to be Barnaby Rudge. I also want to find some ways to just move my body. And again, keeping in mind that my goal is to slow down. Usually when I work out or exercise, I like to do things like cardio kickboxing or weights or things like that. But this year I would like to try things like yoga, things that will be more calming to my body and I think in the long run more nourishing to what my body needs right now. I also want to just be more intentional in my health, taking care of myself, taking my supplements, working on my hormone health, things like that. As I mentioned previously, I am taking a class online. I'm super excited for how this might play out in the future, and I will be completing that class in 2023 and hopefully using that in some ways yet to be announced. Sort of tangent to that, I have another, I was gonna say nebulous goal. It's not really nebulous, but just something that I'm not really ready to talk about. I kind of want to see how it might play out before I talk about it online, but I'm excited about the possibilities there as well. I used to be very creative and I loved expressing myself through various creative means such as writing or dancing or just whatever. So I want to find those opportunities to feed that side of myself again. I'm hoping this in 2023. My plan is to edit the first draft of the book that I wrote this year during NaNoWriMo and continue editing and polishing that copy off. I started bullet journaling thanks to my sister, and so using that as a way to express some creativity and hopefully making some more fun reels or things like that on Instagram to express kind of more of the fun and lighthearted side of myself. I also really want to find some ways in 2023 to find and build and nurture a community, both the local community and online community. So I want to be intentional to find ways to send a text to invite a friend over or go see a movie or hosting game nights, things like that. But again, holding grace and holding space for where I am and not overcommitting myself. I used to pick a word of the year that I would kind of hold on to throughout the year, and I haven't done that the last 2 years. I don't think I'm gonna do that in 2023 either. It's more of just a vibe of the year. So I'm looking forward to a year of slowness, a year of rest, and a year of growing more into the person that I am supposed to be.
So one of the things that I have been thinking about as we go into new goals for 2023 is how to make goals that don't ignore who I am and make me plan on being a different person than I am. Trying to like scale back or like not make goals. I saw a YouTube video about living chaotically organized, and it was talking about just how there's this idea of being goal-oriented and being like type A personality and like getting all of these things on your list and checking them off and doing them. I don't think that's me. And the person who created the video was talking about how she, instead of trying to check things off and do them in a list, she just does them when she's feeling the passion for them, and she gets so much more done that way. And I've really been thinking about that a lot this year and just like how I can use that in my life, because I feel like that's how I work more. I'm kind of feeling like I want to be a lot more flexible this year with the goals, and I'm trying to hold myself back from like making a big long list of things that I want to do. I know that that's not me. Another thing that I recently saw was somebody talking about doing instead of a to-do list, completing a to-done list. And so instead of writing down all of the things that you need to do, writing down all of the things that you have done in that day, and then in that week, in that month. But I like that idea of seeing what I have done and looking back at that and being like, oh, I accomplished all of these things, and then I don't have to get to the end of the year and say like, oh, I didn't do all of these things that I wrote down on a list to do, but I did. But instead I can look back and I can say, oh, I did all of these things and look at what I accomplished. So that's one goal. And then my second like tangible goal is that I started working on switching out personal care and health products for clean products. And so as I continue to use up the things that are not clean products, I want to research and switch them out for clean products. So I have a project that I'm working on, and when I started working on it, I made a promise to myself that I would not work on it if I wasn't feeling like working on it, because so many times I have started things and I've pushed myself to complete them because I should do it or I need to get it done. And with this goal, it's a hobby, and so I don't want to burn out and I don't want to lose my passion for it. And so sometimes I have opened it up, I've started working on it, and I'm like, nope, I don't feel like working on this at all. Nothing is coming to mind. I don't feel like this is a creative thing right now. And I just close it down and I shut it off. Trying to use kind of that more to using my passions to guide what I accomplish instead of checking the boxes. So those are my rather nebulous goals for this year. I'm excited to see what 2023 holds.
We would love to hear from you all in the comments what some of your New Year's goals are, or if you have a word of the year or a vibe of the year, please let us know. I hope that you all have had a wonderful New Year's and that your 2023 is amazing. Whether that's local community.
So I had, okay, no. Yay, it's 2023.